Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're doing well. The Bivol Canelo Alvarez card had some very good matchups, at least on paper. They looked like good, even matchups on the undercard. And one of them was an interesting flyweight bout between Joselito Velazquez and Colombia's Jose Soto. Now, Velazquez is from Mexico, as the name suggests, undefeated, went in there with 14 wins and a draw, no defeats. And Jose Soto only had one defeat on his record. He went in with 14 wins and one disqualification defeat, which was in his last fight. If you looked at his record, Soto, he's from Colombia, and his first, I think, 13 fights were all in Colombia. The disqualification defeat was to a gatekeeper or gatekeeper / journeyman in 5 rounds, and that was his first time outside Colombia. That was in Mexico. So he was coming into this fight. In his mind, he was probably thinking, I'm still pretty much undefeated, and I'm going to take on this Velazquez kid and do some serious damage. Well, I call him a kid. Velazquez is actually 28. Jose Soto, 24. Both these guys with some real ambition. On paper, it looks like an even fight. And in the first round, it became very, very evident that Velazquez, who was trained by Freddie Roach, is now trained by Eddie Reynoso, by far the better schooled fighter, by far technically the more refined. Soto very wild with his punches, throws a lot of them, bounces around a bit, and then he'll throw these enormous wide punches relatively quickly, but not disguising any of his work at all. And in the first round, Velazquez, he was already beginning to find a home for that. They were both orthodox fighters. Velazquez was finding a home for that right cross. And he did sort of sting Soto a little bit. Didn't wobble him, but he got his attention. First round, definitely to Velazquez on quality of the punch. But again, Soto was firing some decent artillery. And this sort of continued in the second, and I think in the third round, for the first time, Velazquez landed a left hook. Very good left hook. I should have pointed out, by the way, in the second round, actually, the right cross continued from Velazquez, and he actually shook Soto quite badly. Got him onto the ropes at the end of the second round, but Soto survived. He was okay. And then, like I say, in the third round, the left hook came into play from Velazquez. But he was still being outworked. Soto was landing some very kind of crude punches, but not. There was enough of them to make him competitive. Definitely the quality work was coming from Velazquez, but the volume was coming from Soto, very much on the front foot. Again, nothing particularly sophisticated about what he was doing. Velazquez, by far the better schooled fighter, but not really throwing enough punches. And Soto began to work the body and was having some success there as well. Velazquez not really working the body enough, not really jabbing enough, not really doing enough of anything really. Even though when he did fire punches, he was getting Soto's attention. Well, interestingly, as a little aside, this was a flyweight bout, but Velazquez, like I said, he's left Freddie Roach for Eddie Reynoso, and one of the commentators said, Velazquez is looking bigger, looking physically bigger, more muscular, and I'm thinking to myself, Eddie Reynoso and his team. Guys looking bigger? Nah, surely not. Surely no naughtiness has been going on. But you do wonder, don't you? But anyway, I'm digressing. Not really digressing. I mean, it's valid, isn't it? It's a valid point. But yeah, we know about Reynoso's little crew. But anyway, Velazquez, he, like I say, he was landing the better, cleaner punches. But Soto was crawling back into the fight in the 5th round, and I gave him the 5th round. I thought he just outworked Velazquez. But it was in the 6th round. It wasn't the right cross that undid Soto. It was the left hook, because they exchanged near the middle of the ring, And suddenly Soto was badly hurt, badly shaken by a left hook. It was a great left hook from Velazquez. He punched his chest and said, come on, or indicated, come on, more, 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 more. Bang, another left hook, and Soto was flat on his back. You know, sometimes when you get what you pay, when you get what you want, it's not the best thing for you. You should be careful what you wish for. And yeah, Soto got to his feet. I mean, clearly buzzed, well, more than buzzed, but it was slightly surprising that the referee stopped the fight there and then. Soto didn't complain too wildly. I don't think he was in any condition to. But it was kind of, I guess you'd say, not out of the blue, but it was a rather abrupt ending. And especially when Soto sort of beckoned him in. Come on in, you know, you hit me with a good left hook. You've shaken me, you know, I'm shaken and stirred. Let's see you put me on my back. Velazquez put him on his back all right, and he couldn't really recover. The ref said, that's your lot. So a 6-round TKO for Joselito Velazquez. He moves to 15-0 now. He's got a draw on his record, but it's negligible. And you have to ask, Joselito Velazquez, where is he now in flyweight world terms? Well, I think he's moved into the world arena, shall we say? But if you look at the champions, I mean, you've got Sonny Edwards, IBF flyweight champ. You've got Julio Cesar Martinez, who's a lot of fun to watch. Delekian, is that his name? Artem Delekian. I don't know much about him. I know about Martinez and Edwards, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone like a McWilliams Arroyo would be a good option for Velazquez next, just to sort of as a little barometer as to where he's at in world terms, because Arroyo was on the downside, very much on the downside of his career now, and coming to the end of it. So the old versus the new, I don't know. He is 28 now, Velazquez. So yeah, I think maybe an Arroyo, maybe if Cuadras, perhaps, if Cuadras comes back to flyweight, probably won't. I don't know. He lost to Bam Rodriguez, didn't he, last time out? But I definitely would. I definitely don't think Velazquez is ready for a title shot just yet. I'd have at least another 2 or 3 fights against, you know, top 10, top 12 opponents. But this was a good little fight. And Soto's a crazy fighter. I mean, he just comes in bouncing around, swinging enormous punches, very wide punches, very easy to read. If he wants to get anywhere near world title, he's lost his last 2, one on disqualification and this stoppage. But if he wants to get back into contention, he's got to shore up that defence, maybe get a bit more technique, learn how to disguise some punches instead of just being so obvious on the front foot, leaning forward, almost asking to be hit. But yeah, for Velazquez, it's onwards and upwards. So did you see this fight? If so, what did you think of it? You can leave your comments below, as always. You know, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We've got the big one, Canelo versus Bivol, coming up. I'll do a review of that as well. Meanwhile, take care. Speak soon. Bye for now.